It's the winners of the previous round playing off against Big Mac the Boss and No GG. Top lane, Terran versus Terran. Mid lane, Protoss versus Protoss. And bottom lane, Terran versus Protoss. And we will have to see how it's gonna go. What's it gonna look like? Good luck to all the teams as we get going in this one. Starting off here, we've seen this before. This setup right here. First wave gonna go, and what's it gonna be against? It's gonna be against something very similar. Now, sometimes, you see a lot of people with Terran in the standard format. You roll with Marines like this, and you grab a Reaper or two. This is interesting. They actually play a Reaper way in the back here, which is going to get there pretty late, but is going to be able to actually push back, and it's just not quite enough. The better concave, much better concave for the orange player here. We'll see how blue is going to try to respond, but you got to be doing some positioning, that's for sure. Now, that's not the best thing to get this Guardian Shield popped early, but it looks like the outsides here, 2 Zealots to each side, are going to get sucked in on the fake Archon, the hallucination. And that's going to give some free damage here. Oh, wow, this is kind of funny. Oh, that's not going to help. These hallucinations will do 0 of their 0 damage, and this is insane. Look at this, all this extra income. Almost was able to do it in time. Let's go ahead and get the production up here and see. We have no gas, obviously, coming down early here. I do need to switch over to the main. There we go. Let's flip that around. The early one out front, I like that. Orange did that in our last game as well. And Orange does such a good job controlling this early. We do have Teal deciding to go up for that tier 2, Teal being the Protoss player. Orange is doing such a great job with Terran controlling so early. And we'll have to see. This is actually going to go towards these hallucinations. It's going to leave a lot of damage, but if those hallucinations go down, there's nothing to protect any of this from all this damage. These Stalkers are going to blink, but with charge, these Zealots will close the gap quite quickly. Oh, it looks like that these Stalkers actually warped so far to the right side, they actually were able to push through. This might be pretty tough. We might see this teeter-totter back and forth. Damage through. Zealots soaking up quite a bit up on the front line. Stalkers do extra damage to armored units, which Marauders are. Marauders also do extra damage to armored units, but Marauders typically with stim can fight a little bit faster. Orange has a little bit of work to do now with 2 waves to get through. These Stalkers have already soaked quite a bit. Blue now. All the grenades come through, popping all these things. That's exactly what you want to happen. You want the grenade to land, pop them backwards. Backwards towards you, or forwards, depending on your perspective. Damage comes through. You see the control from Lock. They actually turn off the charge. They're going to turn it back on here. And there it is. Well done. The control of the abilities. This Immortal in back doing damage against, they're trying to counter the Stalkers. Immortals do a lot of damage against armored units, but that was not even close. They're gonna need a lot more of those. And so far, mid control is slightly favoring our bottom team, purple, red, and blue. Attacks come through, the push comes through here. And there's the attack. We're back to this matchup. You can see blue actually puts some Reapers really far behind, and this concave is so good. That's really smart. Looking at their setup, you see these Reapers back here. They come in, they drop their charge as soon as they get up to the front, but they aren't doing it. So right now we have the orange player who has all these Reapers throwing out their charges at a very similar time, unless they're getting popped back from the charges of their opponent. But playing some back here is a pretty smart play. And boom, we see a gas. Gas goes down for blue. It's an early gas at that. But they do feel like they have the mid control here. They feel like they can drop that gas. We'll have to see if it's going to pay off. What's the next wave going to look like here against orange? If they can continue to push forward, which it looks like they're doing a great job, that gas is going to really pay dividends. No gas in their team. We actually might see a bunker go down with the Immortals here doing a lot of damage. The blink forward, the aggressive play, and the bunker goes down. What a play. And certainly now that gas makes sense. We do see the gas go down for red as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see purple follow suit. No gases on the other side. And right now it is a dire situation. A very dire situation for our previous round winners. Look at all the tier 2, tier 2, tier 2, tier 2, and tier 2. 4 people, 2 on each team. Everybody will be tier 2 after these 4 upgrades. Attacks come through. The pressure is just absolutely insane from the bottom team so far. They're going to be getting so much extra resources, as we do see the cool effect here on the gas that goes down for our purple player. 1-1 upgrades. We should have 2-2 pretty soon for orange, as they are wont to do. Damage coming up here from this bottom Terran player. This is not a great setup for the orange player. They're gonna walk right into a whole bunch of these mines, and that's gonna be a clean wipe. Have the no GG observer right here chilling. Now these zealots chew through quite well. Teal does a great job dealing with that wave. They don't have enough to get through this wave, but they did a really good job getting through that wave. They have the detection, so they don't do damage onto these hallucinated archons, which isn't too bad. But this is gonna be pretty rough. As stated, dire situation as mid control continues. Bomber going with Liberators very early here. We're at the 6-minute 45 mark, and they have 3 Liberators. This is huge. What a great play. Not a whole lot that's going to be able to attack up into the air, and if it gets close enough to do so, it dies. The Liberators are going to stack. We might actually see a push back in the other direction. Bull Siege tanks here on the bottom. The Liberators here are going to stack up. One-shotting Marines. The Marines do not do enough damage. Alas, these Liberators chilling over in no man's land. Maybe one more Marine goes down. That may be the answer, but now we'll see red, yellow. They'll start to get things that are going to attack up into the air. And we do see that right here. No GG does grab the voids. Voids are going to be the answer for the Liberators, as we do see blue, our first gasser, going up for that tier 3. Back to the action. Liberators doing a lot of damage. Will these Void Rays be able to take care of them? Certainly should be able to. Marines get absolutely obliterated, and now that's open game for the Void Rays to slaughter these Liberators. Attacks come through. 3 siege tanks in the back line. Bombs going off everywhere. Reaper charges are absolutely insane. Damage comes through, 3 up. Marines in the back, you can see two chilling observers. Those will go down pretty quick. To the observer from Teal. Disruptor shots go over from both teams. The disruptor shots are much more visceral, though, from the red team. Continuing to put this pressure, they're able to push up kind of close to the center line, just not quite able to tip it over the edge. Gas situation, we do see no gas, no gas, no gas. 1-1, and Blues is actually almost profiting. We're almost at profit point there. Liberators for blue as well are an answer to try to continue to push forward. Now, Void Rays are not good against Marines. Marines do excellent against Void Rays, but that's not what they're there for. That was the second wave. The Void Rays are in place to try to counter these Liberators. They do quite a good job of that. You can see yellow repositioning here, dropping some more mines, moving all their bio up into the front. Here's some Liberators with no air attacking units. Big Mac has nailed it. They get the Liberators out. This is going to be trouble for our top team. These Liberators able to stack up with an already strong wave from red. Widow Mines are the attempted answer from yellow. These Liberators will go down almost immediately to these Void Rays. Charged up, doing extra damage to armored units. The Reaper shots come through. Now, there's a couple ways you can look at this. The Marines, especially with 2-2, are going to really chew through these Void Rays. Jeez. When you have Liberators are good. Did you guys know the Liberators are good? Holy smokes. Oh, those Disruptor shots. That was absolutely brutal to watch. Liberators here, though. We do have some Void Rays. Able to shoot through these Liberators now. The thing about the Void Rays, if you can get them upgraded enough because of their damage is pretty low as a without charge and not against armored units. But if you can upgrade that, it actually does decent against unarmored units or units that haven't been upgraded for armor. These Void Rays doing absolute work against the Liberators. Attacks coming through, getting pretty close. They are hanging on, but they are continuing to get these the extra minerals here, the extra resources from controlling mid. Second gas for blue, second gas for red has been dropped, as we do see one gas apiece for the opposing team. They've all decided to drop that gas at about the 10-minute mark. Bio does not do well against Disruptor shots, and that's gonna be a bummer. That's a good way to try to get back into this. Unfortunately, this red wave just seems a bit too strong. Look at this setup. They actually put the Bio so far out in front. But that does trigger the storm warning, if you will. Another one will go off. There it is. It does trigger in time. These Liberators are not able to do much, so it's all the push is almost coming back. The push almost comes back every time, but it just cannot quite get there. Storm is such a good utility tool against Terran. It's great. I mean, it's one of the best spells in the game in general, but especially against Terran. Bio just gets so savaged from these storms. Continued income gains from controlling mid. If we go to the income, you can see the difference. Well, that's gonna take up no structures. What do you know? We'll wait to see who gets up to that tier 3 and try to spot it. Nice storm here on these Void Rays as they are stacked up. Pressure comes through. Storms again on the Bio. And this is, Red's wave is doing such a good job, the boss. So Orange is trying to stack this up. They actually, with these Vikings are going to do a good job against the Void Rays. They have these tanks. Are the tanks going to be the answer? I mean, they've been around for a bit. I think there's too much bio. The tanks are not able to get any survivability. There's no wave to keep them alive so they can continue to get that DPS out. They're dying way too fast. All the Liberators out here. Basically wrecking the ground wave. Wow, those Disruptor shots. Getting close to mid. They're getting close. Now, the issue here is even though they're getting close to mid, the closeness is actually them pushing through a wave that isn't their wave, if that makes sense. Like right here, you have Teal facing off against Red. But by the time Teal gets to Red, because Teal has to fight a little bit of Blue's wave, Teal has to face Red's wave with about half or less of the units that they actually want, right? Tier 3 for Red is coming in. So they need to get to mid, but they have to try to get to mid to regain control, which in standard is almost impossible. It is very, very difficult to do. If once you've gone over 10 minutes of not having control of mid, it's such an income disparity. You do see a yellow also going up to that tier 3. Yellow and red both deciding to go up to tier 3. We'll see. Both are one is Protoss here, and one is the Terran. Hallucination soaking up a little bit. Nice storms come in here on all this bio. These Widow mine shots will have to be great. They'll have to be epic, are they? Storm on those Widow mines. That's gonna be unfortunate. Disruptor shot had nowhere to go, and some tickling damage maybe? Yes, it looks like it. The shield is starting to get poked, and now they are trying to close the deal. Pressure coming in here. We'll keep our eye on the planetary fortress. It won't die, but it certainly will take damage, or will it die? It's taking a lot. 1, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and down to 385. Void Rays putting out such massive damage against armored structures and units. You can see the planetary fortress is one. Purple will be going up to tier 3 as well. I'm curious about that. With the way that this has just gone, I would wonder that Purple would want to just continue on Void Rays. Of course, this is from my perspective as not playing this match, and maybe they actually want that the 3-3. We'll see. They're putting on a lot of great pressure. Terran trying to fight back with these Vikings. Doesn't look like it's going to go too well. This causes a siege up, so all these units getting up here that quickly, it does cause them to siege up. Storm comes in. These Marines are trying to do work against the Void Rays. We do see the three, so they are going to go up for the upgrades. They did get the, or at least they did start there. Here's Lowland going up for tier 3 as well. Tier 3 costs 450 minerals. It's not cheap. So making that decision, it's a big decision. Especially when you're when you don't have mid control, when you're struggling to fight for it. Carriers have arrived, ladies and gentlemen. We have the carriers. And we will see. These carriers might just take these carriers might carry the bomb team to victory. It's going to be very difficult to hold on here. Storms come through. The anti-air units are dead. This wave is stacking up. There are 2 carriers stacked up behind all of these Void Rays. This could very well be it if they can get close enough. They'll get through the Vikings first. Vikings will be attracting the attacks of other air units. And they get so close yet so far. It's all about the air fight now. You can see what ends up happening in games like this. Not just like this, but in games of direct strike as you go up to the air. Games rarely stay on the ground. Maybe the first like 8 to 10 minutes. Usually pretty ground focused. It can't even be shorter than that, as we did see yellow go up to these liberators at the 6:45 mark of this game. And then you're usually you're up into the air. You're fighting the air battle. A lot of in-game units, a lot of high in-game units, high cost in-game units are air units. We do hear a BC for Lowland. It's going to soak up quite a bit of damage with that 550, but it's not going to be able to do much more than that. Does trade a kill with the carrier. These Vikings are actually, is this going to be able to get a kill? Not quite. That Viking actually didn't end up dying. It ends up dying anyway. And the fight continues on here. A lot of air units for our every player. I guess there's not really there's nobody not playing air units now. I wouldn't be surprised to see, and that's exactly what happens. Go up to that 3 damage on the air units. Wouldn't be surprised to see some armor go up as well for that survivability, especially on the carriers, making sure they can try to survive and stack up with the next wave. And there's the 20 for the spawn. Is this going to be it? It's going down. 53, 250, 231, and it's not quite enough. It's almost there though. 191, 44, and there it is. Game one, ladies.